Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you all are safe, healthy and doing great. A very hearty welcome to the bloomgerman channel. Our today's topic is Lektion 28 Modal Verben. Modal Verbs. Let us see what we are learning in this video. First, was ist das Modal Verb? What is Modal Verb? Second, verschiedene Modalverben in der deutschen Sprache. Different modal verbs in a German language. Verb Conjugation Alle Modalverben. Verb conjugation of all modal verb. Lerne Satzbildung, Wh Fragen und Nein Fragen mit Modalverben. Learn to form sentences, WH question and yes or no question with modal verb. Übung, practice exercise. And in the last, ein wichtiger Tipp, an important tip. So fangen wir an. What is modal verb? Modal verb is a type of verb that contextually indicates a modality. Modalities such as likelihood, ability, permission, request, capacity, suggestion, order, obligation or advice. Modal verb always accompany the base form of another verb. They change the mood of second verb. They express how someone feels or what someone thinks about the other verb. Now let us understand how modal verb works in English language. For example, I am cooking pizza. I want to cook pizza. So I am cooking pizza is a normal sentence. It's just a continuous present tense. I want to cook pizza. There is a desire to cook pizza. Want. Want is a modal verb. It's a desire. This is showing a desire. Another example, I am wearing the school uniform. It's a simple continuous sentence, present continuous tense. I have to wear the school uniform. There is a compulsion. You have to wear or I have to wear the school uniform. So this is an obligation. Have to showing the obligation. In first example, want showing the desire. So these are the example of modal verb. Now you have seen how the modal verb changed the role of a second verb. And English modal verb include must, shall, will, should, would, can, could, may and might. Yes, that you all know. Now let's see about the German language. 5 most important modal verbs in German language. Modal verb in German. Ability. First modal verb that showing the ability is können. Bedeutet can, to be able to. Next modal verb for compulsion. In German language, we are using müssen. For compulsion, we are using müssen. Bedeutet must, to have to. For obligation, we are using sollen, should, to be, supposed to. For desire, we are using wollen, bedeutet want, to want to. For permission, we are using dürfen, may, to be allowed to. These are the 5 most important modal verbs that are commonly used in a German language. Which are they? Let's revise. Können, müssen, dürfen, wollen and sollen. Rather than this, there are 2 most important modal verbs mögen bedeutet to like, möchten bedeutet would like to. That we will see in detail in the coming slides. So let's move forward. Now let us see how the modal verb changes the meaning of a sentence. First one is Ich muss Deutsch lernen. I have to learn German. I must learn German. Here we have used modal verb müssen, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is muss. Ich darf Deutsch lernen. I allow to learn German. Oder I can learn German. Here we have used the modal verb dürfen, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is darf. Our third sentence is Ich will Deutsch lernen. I want to learn German. Here we have used the modal verb wollen, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is will. Ich kann Deutsch lernen. I can learn German. Here we have used the modal verb können, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is kann. Ich möchte Deutsch lernen. I would like to learn German. Oder I want to learn German. Here we have used the modal verb möchten, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is möchte. Ich mag Deutsch lernen. I like to learn German. Here we have used the modal verb mögen, which is conjugated according to the subject ich. I hope you have understood how the modal verb changes the meaning of a sentence. Ich soll Deutsch lernen. I should learn the German. Here we have used the modal verb sollen, which is conjugated according to the subject ich, that is soll. Now let us see the verb conjugation of each and every modal verb in detail. And we will also see how to build the sentences Nein Frage, Wh question with the modal verb. Now let's move on. Die Verb Conjugation von können bedeutet can, be able to. Ich kann, du kannst, sie kann, wir können, ihr könnt, sie können. Here you have seen the verb conjugation for ich and sie are same. That is, for ich it is kann and sie it is kann. For do we have given the same ending st. For wear we have given the ending en. For ear we have given the ending t. And for zz we have given the ending en. But there is point to notice, for do it is not könst, it is kannst. So keep it in mind. Let's move on and learn to build a sentence with können modal. Ich kann sehr gut kochen. Ich subject. Kann modal verb in second position conjugated according to the subject ich. Sehr gut is a object. Then comes the verb in infinitive, main verb in infinitive that comes in the Satz end. So what is the rule for framing a sentence? Subject plus modal verb in conjugation plus object plus main verb in infinitive form in the Satz end. What is the meaning of a sentence? I can cook very well. Können modal verb comes in position 2 in conjugated form, which is conjugated according to the subject ich that I have already told you, and main verb in infinitive comes in the Satz ende, on Satz ende. Now let us learn how to build the Wh Frage with the modal verb. Wann können Sie mir helfen? Now here, what is the subject here? Subject is Sie. So wann is a WH word. Können is a modal verb. Sie, mir is a object. Helfen is a main verb in infinitive, comes in the Satz end. So wann können Sie mir helfen? What is the meaning of a sentence? When do you help me? When can you help me? Now here again the modal verb takes the position to, and the main verb in infinitive comes am Satz end. As the sentence start with the WH word, that is wann. So this is a Wh Frage. What is it? It's a Wh Frage. Let's see one more time. Wann. When we are using Wh Frage, WH word, then the modal verbs takes the position to, then comes the subject, then object, and then the main verb in infinitive form. Now let's move on. Kannst du mich morgen treffen? Can you meet me tomorrow? Now here, modal verbs, we have started the sentence with the modal verb, and which takes the position one, and the treffen, the main verb in infinitive, comes in the am Satz end. As the sentence start with the modal verb, then comes the subject, then the object, and then the main verb in infinitive. This is called as Nein Frage. What is it? It's a Nein Frage. Now, how to give the answer to this question? Can you meet me tomorrow? Ja, ich kann dir morgen treffen. Yes, I can meet you tomorrow. Modal verbs takes the position to, then comes the object, and then the main verb in infinitive am Satz end. What is the rule? Ja, comma, subject plus modal verb in conjugated, which is conjugated according to the subject ish, then comes the object, and then in the last the main verb in infinitive form. Now if the answer is no, how to give the answer? Nein, ich kann nicht dir morgen treffen. No, I can't meet you tomorrow. Again, the modal verbs in conjugated form takes the position to, then comes the object, and then in the last the verb in infinitive am Satz end. Here, what is the rule? Nein, comma, ich. Ich is a subject plus modal verb in conjugated, which is conjugated according to the subject. Then comes nicht, then comes object, and then the main verb in infinitive. Die Verb Conjugation von müssen bedeutet have to, must. Let's see. For ich muss, du musst, sie muss, wir müssen, ihr müsst, sie müssen. Now here you have seen the verb conjugation for ich and sie is same, that is muss. For do, here you have to add st. For wir, we have to add ending en. For ihr, that is we have to add the ending t. It become must. For sie, again en. Now let's see how to build the sentence Wh Frage and Nein Frage with müssen. Ich muss die Hausaufgaben machen. I have to do the homework, or I must do the homework. Here, the modal verb takes the position to, and that is conjugated according to the subject ich, followed by the object, and the main verb in infinitive form comes am Satz end. So always keep in mind verb in their Grundformen, verb in the basic form comes always in the Satzende when we are using the modal verb in the sentence. So what is the rule for framing the sentence? Subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb in the basic form. Now let us learn how to frame the Wh Frage by using the modal verb müssen. Wann müssen Sie zur Arbeit fahren? When do you have to go to work? Again, the modal verb takes the position to, which is conjugated according to the subject Sie followed by the object, and the main verb in infinitive form comes in the Satzende as the sentence start with the one, that is a WH word. So this is a Wh Frage, WH question. Let's see how to frame the Ja Nein Fragen. Musst du den ganzen Tag arbeiten? Here, musst takes the first position and followed by the subject, then object, and in the last the verb. The main verb in the basic form comes in the Satzende, am Satzende. Do you have to work all day? So this is the Ja Nein Frage, as the sentence or a question start with the must, that is a modal verb. That means the sentence is a Ja Nein question, Ja Nein Frage. Now let us learn how to give the answer to the Ja Nein Frage. Ja, ich muss den ganzen Tag arbeiten. Yes, I have to work all day. Here, the modal verbs takes the position to, and the main verb im infinitive comes am Satzende. So what is the rule for framing the Ja Nein answer Antworten? Ja, comma plus subject plus modal verb in conjugation plus object plus main verb in infinitive form. Let's see. Nein, ich muss nicht den ganzen Tag arbeiten. No, I must not all day work. So modal verb takes the position to, and the verb im infinitive comes am Satzende. So what is the rule for framing the Ja Nein Antworten? Nein, comma plus subject plus modal verb in conjugation plus nicht plus object plus main verb im infinitive form. Die Verbkonjugation von wollen bedeutet want to. Ich will, du willst, es sie will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen. Here you can see the verb conjugation of wollen for ich and sie is same, that is will. For do we have added the st. For wear it is wollen. For ear it is wollt with t ending, and zz again we have given the e and ending. And one more thing you have to keep in mind, the verb conjugation of wollen for do is not wollst, it is willst. Keep it in mind. Let us see how to frame the sentence Wh Frage und Ja Nein Frage by using the modal verb wollen. Peter will in Deutschland studieren. Peter wants to study in Germany. What is the rule here? Modal verb takes the position to, and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence. So let's see the rule. Subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb comes in the end of a sentence. Let's see how to frame the Wh Frage. Was wollt ihr essen? What do you want to eat? So the rule is WH word plus Modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object if any plus the main verb in the infinitive form. So modal verb comes in the position 2 and the main verb comes in the Satzende. This is how we can frame the Wh Frage. Let's see how to frame the Ja Nein question. Willst du mit uns Fußball spielen? So wollen comes in conjugated forms in the beginning of a question. So modal verb in conjugated plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive form comes in the end of a sentence. Do you want to play the football with us? This is how we can frame the Ja Nein Frage. Let's see the Verb Conjugation von dürfen bedeutet may, to be allowed to. Ich darf, du darfst, sie darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie dürfen. Let's see for ich and sie, third person singular. The conjugation is same, that is darf. For do, the ending is st. For wir, the ending is en. For ihr, the ending is t. And for sie, ending is en, that is dürfen. For do, it is darfst, not dürfst. Keep it in mind. Let's move on. Let's see few sentences, Wh Frage and Ja Nein Frage by using dürfen. Ich darf wieder Sport machen. I am allowed to work out again. So what is the rule here? Subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb comes in the end of a sentence. Again, the darf, that is a modal verb in conjugated form, takes the position 2 and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence. Let's see how to frame the Wh Frage. Wann dürfen Sie wieder arbeiten? When can you work again? Or when you are allowed to work again. If a person is medically sick, then we can ask this question to him. So, what is the rule? WH word plus modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb comes in the end of a question or Frage. So dürfen takes the position 2 and the main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a question. This is how we can frame the Wh Frage. Now let's see Ja Nein Frage. Darf ich Sie etwas fragen? Modal verbs comes in the beginning of a sentence, that is position 1, and the main verb comes in infinitive forms in the end of a sentence. So what is the rule here? Modal verb in conjugated plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive form. May I ask you something? This is how we can frame the Ja Nein Frage, as the question is begin with the modal verb. That means the question is Ja Nein Frage, and when it is begin with the WH word, then that means the question is Wh Frage. Die Verb Conjugation von sollen. Ich soll, du sollst, sie soll, wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen. Let's see. For ich and third person singular, that is sie, the verb conjugation is same, that is soll. For do, ending is st. For wir, ending is en, so it is wir sollen. For ihr, ending is t, so it is ihr sollt. For sie, ending is en, so it is sollen. For do, it is sollst. Let's frame some sentences and questions by using the sollen. Du sollst viel schlafen. You should sleep a lot. You are supposed to sleep a lot. Now let's see the how the sentence is framed. Again, subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb in infinitive. Again, the modal verb takes the position to and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence in the infinitive form. Yes, let's see the Wh Frage. Wann soll ich zur Untersuchung kommen? When shall I come for the checkup? What is the rule? WH word plus modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive. Again, the modal verb takes the position to and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence. So as the sentence starts with the WH word, so this is a Wh Frage. Let's see how to frame the Nein Frage. Sollst du die ganze Woche im Bett bleiben? Are you supposed to stay in bed whole week or should stay in bed for the whole week? Okay, now modal verb comes in the beginning of a question and that is a position 1 and the bleiben in infinitive form comes in the end of a question. So what is the rule? Modal verb in conjugated plus subject plus object and the main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. So as the sentence begin with the modal verb, this is a Ja, Nein Frage. If the answer is yes, then how can we give the answer? Ja, ich soll die ganze Woche im Bett bleiben. If the answer is no, then how to frame? Nein, ich soll nicht die ganze Woche im Bett bleiben. Let's move on. Die Verb Conjugation von mögen. Mögen meaning is to like somebody or to like something. Ich mag, du magst, sie mag, wir mögen, ihr mögt, sie mögen. Again, let's see for ich and the third person singular sie, the verb conjugation for mögen is mag. For do it is magst, not mögst. Keep it in mind. So for do it is magst. Wir mögen, same ending. Ihr mögt, sie mögen. Now let's see how to frame the sentence Wh Frage und Ja Nein Frage by using the modal verb mögen. The rule is same. Subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. So what is the statement here? Wir mögen Pizza essen. So modal verb takes the position to and the main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence in the basic form. Let's see how to frame the Wh Frage. Again the rule is WH word plus modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. So wann mag sie Fußball schauen? When she liked to watch the football. So modal verb comes in the position to and the main verb in infinitive form comes in the end of a question. As this question start with the one that is a WH word. So this is a Wh Frage. When does she like to watch the football? Magst du Bücher lesen? Do you like to read the books? So look at here the question or start with the modal verb in conjugated form. So this is a Ja Nein Frage. So magst du Bücher lesen? So rule is the modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive. So modal verb takes the position 1 and the verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. If I want to give the answer yes, so how we can give? Ja, ich mag Bücher lesen. If the answer is no, then nein, ich mag nicht Bücher lesen. Let's move on. Die Verb Conjugation von möchten bedeutet want, would like to. To express the wish, Wünsche. Nowadays, most commonly we are using möchten. In Germany, people are using möchten most commonly. And möchten is a Katzwei of mögen. So let's see the verb conjugation for möchten. Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie möchte, wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie möchten. So here for ich and sie, the verb conjugation of möchten is möchte. Okay, for do it is st, but extra e has been added over here. And for wir it is möchten. Simple, we have to add en. And for sie again it is möchten. But for ihr it is möchtet. Again here we have to add extra e. So let's see one more time the verb conjugation for the möchten. Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie möchte, wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie möchten. Keep it in mind, Katzwei von mögen. Möchten is a Katzwei von mögen. Möchten is generally used to express the wish. Let's move on. Let's see the rule for framing the sentence Wh Frage und Nein Frage by using möchten. Ich möchte ans Meer fahren. I would like to go to the ocean. Modal verb takes the position to and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence, that we all know. Let's see rule one more time. Subject plus modal verb in conjugated form plus object plus main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. Let's see the Wh Frage. Wann möchten Sie Pommes essen? Pommes means French fries. Okay, when they want to eat the French fries. So again modal verb takes the position to and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence. So WH word comes in the beginning of a question, that means it is a Wh Frage. So WH word plus modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. So this is a rule for framing the Wh Frage. Let's see the Nein Frage. Möchtest du ein Glas Wasser trinken? Would you like to drink a glass of water? So again, möchtest come in the beginning of a question. That means this is a Nein Frage. So modal verb takes the position 1 and the main verb in infinitive comes in the end of a sentence. Let's see rule. Modal verb in conjugated form plus subject plus object plus main verb in infinitive. If I want to give the answer yes, ja, ich möchte ein Glas Wasser trinken. If the answer is no, then nein, ich möchte nicht ein Glas Wasser trinken. Let's move on. Here comes the Übung time, the practice exercise. Now it's time to examine how much you have understood throughout the presentation. Let's move on. The time for the first question, I will give you 5 seconds for thinking. Der Arzt sagt, eine Woche lange Tabletten nehmen. I am supposed to take pills for a week. Welches Modalverb passt besser? Dürfen oder sollen? Time start now. Yeah, richtig. We have to use sollen here, which get conjugated according to the subject So, that means der Arzt sagt, soll eine Woche lang Tabletten nehmen. So, subject, then the modal verb in conjugated form plus object and then comes the main verb in the infinitive in the end of a sentence. Let's see another question. Time for the second question. Ich um 6 Uhr aufstehen. I have to get up at 6 a.m. Welches Modalverb passt besser? Müssen oder wollen? Ja, richtig. For have to, we have to use müssen. We cannot use wollen because wollen bedeutet to want. Okay, so the answer is ich muss 6 Uhr aufstehen. So here keep it in mind, we have used aufstehen, that is a Trennbare verb, and we can break it, but because we are using here müssen in conjugated form in the second position, so aufstehen come in its basic form, okay, in the end of a sentence. We should not touch it. Let's move on to the third question. Question is ihr mit uns Basketball spielen. Do you guys want to play basketball with us? Which modal verb comes here? Wollen oder können? Ja, richtig. The answer is wollt ihr mit uns Basketball spielen. So, do you guys, look at here how we can say that this is a Ja Nein Frage because the subject is taking here the second position. So the modal verb must comes in the beginning of the sentence in the conjugated form. So here we have using want to. Können bedeutet can. So here wollt come. Wollt is the better option, not the können. So wollt ihr mit uns Basketball spielen. Again spielen, that is the main verb or a root verb comes in the end of a question. So this is a Ja Nein Frage. Now time for a very useful tip. My today's tip is regarding gern. Gern the bedeutet to like, but gern is not a verb, not a modal verb, but it is an adverb. Okay, instead of using mögen, möchten, people generally like to use gern most commonly. Du lernst gern Deutsch. Okay, you like to learn German. Okay, if we are using modal verb, du möchtest Deutsch lernen. This is the statement. But if we are using gehen here, so one verb, one main verb is sufficient here. We don't need to use the möchten and lernen also. So, du lernst gehen Deutsch is the simple statement. Okay, now ich esse nicht gern Pizza. If we are using nicht, it comes after the main verb conjugated. So gern takes the position number 4. Now see the statement. Sie mögen Pizza essen. They like to eat pizza. Okay, Sie essen gern Pizza. Sie mögen Pizza essen. This is very complicated and we have used a modal verb also in conjugated form and the main verb comes in the end of a sentence. So instead of using modal verb also and the main verb also, we can use gern. So the sentence becomes simple. Sie essen gern Pizza. This is a simple and most commonly used statement and we feel good to our ear. Okay, now for object and activities, we usually use the gern. Marx du Bücher lesen? Do you like to read book? Yeah, this question or Frage start with a Marx. That's why this is a Ja Nein Frage. Yes, you are all are correct. Now, liest du gern Bücher? This is a general statement. You can use this is an easy statement. Liest du gern Bücher is the easy. We are not using here the mögen also and lesen also. Just one verb, that is a lesen, is sufficient here. So liest du gern Bücher is the most commonly used statement rather than using mögen. Now, sie mag ihn, she likes him. Yeah, this is a common statement, but rather than using this statement, we can use sie hat ihn gern. This is also not commonly used, but the sie mag ihn can also be said or say by using the heart in Gern. Okay. For to like something or somebody, we use gern haben. So this is correct, but this is also correct. So I hope you have understood my today's tip. And yes, the verb conjugation of all the modal verb and how to frame the sentences Wh Frage und Nein Frage by using the modal verb. So I will end the today's lecture here or today's topic here. I hope you have learned, enjoyed and understood today's topic. For more such topic and clarification of such topic, please comment me in the comment section. I will come up with more videos like this. Herzlichen Dank für das Anschauen meines Video. Auf Wiedersehen.